Hey everyone, John Doyle here from OptixEQ, and I'm with my buddy again. There he is, Devyn
I'm
Arel. How you doing,
back.
Devyn?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Hopefully this race doesn't get canceled like last time. Let's just hope.
Yeah, we had great expectations, but our race got canceled, and AQU got canceled because of weather. Oh, that was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, and then they rescheduled, and yeah, though
We said it too. We said there was a possibility that happened.
yeah, I think what would it end up being, like freezing temperatures? I think they canceled that day. Freezing
So we're going to give it
temperatures.
another shot. We got race 5 up. We're looking at the plot.
Yep,
And
sounds great.
Dev and I were just kind of reviewing a little bit. It looks like a race that's pretty wide open, could go lots of different ways. We have to assess things like layoffs. We have to assess things like notes. And this is the plot. So Devin, what do you think? What's your initial observation about this race?
I mean, if you're looking at the plot right off the bat, I mean, 11 catches your eye, obviously. Pretty big square, presser type of run style, big square. Everybody's attracted to the big squares. I just have questions with this horse. Long layoff. I know he's 8-1, so he is sort of a price. Obviously the 8 stands out too. Q1's square, pretty high up there. Early, it looks like he's going to be the early speed. Speed rate is Sunshine with a 64 speed rate. So plot fits a yellow. So I think this race is pretty wide open in my opinion. I mean, obviously the 8 stands out a little bit, but 11. Questions about 11. I like another horse in here. So yeah,
All right,
I
so
think it's pretty wide open. So
I think just from looking at the plot and kind of looking at just some of the speed ratings, I think to me it looks like this, at least this 5, 6, and 10 look a little soft to me. I don't know if
yeah,
that's the view. Yeah.
totally agree with you.
So we're not going to look at those. We're tossing those horses. We're going to make a bold move. And you can see, I mean, like if you look at the RPM, the 6 and the 10 are red. And what does that mean again? This is really important because you have to understand the way the horse likes to run and make sure that it fits against the horses he's going to run against today. So you see in the 6 and 10, they're presser types. And it really doesn't look like they're going to be competing in that second call because they're below the line and they're circles. So it doesn't look like, they have enough late pace to overcome that position. So that's kind of the reason why they're red. It's very important to look at the run styles anytime you're looking at this. So, and Devin mentioned it. The 8 is the only real E horse in the race. He needs the lead. So if he breaks well, he should be rolling early. So
Yeah, it could be sayonara for him.
Let's go through a couple of these, Devin. Let's just go down the list here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So the 1 horse, what was your thought on him?
I don't know. I was between I so with him. I mean, breaks maiden last time out with a 66 fig, a little below what that race was. That was a 74 between a 68. He ran a little bit low, dual weak. So I didn't really see it with him. I mean, I know he is like 6-1 morning line. So, I mean, he could improve, 4 years old.
Yeah,
I don't know. I really didn't see much. I know last time he ran a 74, last time out with a little bit of traffic. So Gomez up. I don't know.
He's a good rider, this kid. But to me in this race, it's like, I'm not big on these where the jockey's going to end up, but when a win rider leaves a horse, that always kind of raises red flags for me, right? So, Caramucci was the rider last time. I assume he's riding in this race, right? Let me see. Yeah, he's riding.
Yeah, he's on. Forgot who he's on.
Number 2. He's on the number 2.
Oh, he's on the 2. He's on the 2. Okay, that's the Noda horse.
So let's go to 2. We don't like the 1. I agree with your assessment.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on the 1.
Yeah. What about the 2? Kind of dropping, but it looks
drop. Yeah. What did I have? Yeah, I had consistent figs too. I have written down here. I mean, 2 wide trips too. Shows that he can run a decent fig, 77, 72. I mean, last time out, sort of a dud at 67, but another horse that I have questions about, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, to me, look, even though he's kind of dropping, it looks like his figures are declining. They're not going the right direction. And to me, it looks like his best races were on the grass. So some of those higher numbers were on the turf. So, I expect him to improve with the drop, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough to win, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree. Drop's a little suspect to me too. And like I said, 2 wide trips. I know he did.
I think it's a good drop, actually. I think it's the right drop. But
yeah, I know on the plot he looked pretty good, all right too. And I mean, he was good on like the quad percentage and stuff like that. So I mean, I guess people can make a case for him. I just Kendrick on him. I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit for me.
Yeah, so we may put him as maybe one of those tier 2 contenders in this race or something. The 3, I wanted interested what you see about this horse because I have an opinion of this horse. Just so why don't you go first?
3. This was sort of why I picked the plot because I thought it was interesting. He stands out on the standard, and then he's a Q2 circle on the surface distance. So looks like a sprinter. He's been sprinting, going to 8 furlongs. He did run all right, going 8 furlongs way back there at Parks with an 80. So, and says save Plotty. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this horse. Did you have an opinion? Is this sort of who you had on top, or?
Yeah, it's a horse I like. I agree with your assessment about it. I'm not sure he's a router or sprinter. He might be like a 1 turn. So I think this 1 turn mile might be better. He ran 2, but the thing is, I noticed that he was sprinting, and then his best figure was going that route of ground.
Yeah, that 80. Yeah.
And then I kind of could forgive him. It was against Better, that 9 furlong race, and it was 9 furlongs. So
yeah,
and it was on an off track too. Originally it was supposed to be on the turf, so I could maybe give him some forgiveness. I just think his, two most recent races, I think he had issues. Two back, he got into his kickback, and not for nothing, but this is green for a reason. We look back at this stuff, and over the last 18 months, we've shown horses that come back, they win at a good percentage, or they improve dramatically, and actually have shown a positive return on investment on this. Just on this note.
Just on that note.
Just on that note, which is amazing.
Wow.
For 18 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just amazing. So we've got something going there. I always say it's our buyer figure when buyer figures were not out everywhere.
Yeah.
So that and you can see he improves, right? He improves, but he improved even though he was against the bias last time. Mm-hmm. So he ran the best last figure against the bias last time. I don't think the extra distance is going to hurt him. I think he's probably going to be better 1 turn. So I think maybe that the plot, I think the plot of the standard looks better and more representative of his form than the one on the right.
Than the surface distance, yeah.
Because it includes that 9 furlong race probably, and even the race that he ran the 80 in was way back early in his his career. So
yeah,
there may be some upside there. So he improves anywhere near the 80. He's a definite contender, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So that was my opinion on him. The 4, Infringement. What'd you think about him?
Didn't really make much of him. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, he was against the bias last time, but to me, just looking at it, he looks like his best races were grass.
I was just about to say, yeah, it looks like turf for him. 72, 77, 80, pretty consistent C+, C. Yeah, I thought turf was more him. I don't know about how he can handle the dirt. I mean, last time out, muddy, bias 62. So I don't know. I didn't find much with him. How about you?
Well, the thing is, I mean, he could be turf, but he started his career was against a lot better horses. They were in state bred races, but they were still stakes caliber races. He didn't do much running, but he was running against better horses after breaking his maiden as a 2-year-old early. The only thing I would say is, does he deserve another shot? He was against a biased track last time off a layoff in the mud. Gets fast. Let's say if he gets fast, track may be more conducive to look fairer today. When I was watching the races. So I don't know. He can improve. I don't know if he's good enough, but maybe he's still a threat.
A threat, yeah.
Exotics. The 5 we said was a toss. The 6 we said was a toss. So we'll move to the 7. I found this horse a little interesting, but I'm interested in hear what you say.
This is my top pick.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, good man. Yeah,
we're agreeing this time. Last time you were against me. And that horse ran pretty good. Keying for 3rd. My writer's regret last time. Yeah, this was my top pick. What do I have written down here? I would hope so. Catches a dry track last time out. Sloppy, muddy, sloppy.
Yeah.
pop other. What else do I have? Some back figures on 8 furlongs too. If you pull that up, I think he actually ran his best going 8 furlongs, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
to your first point on the second race with the tracks, last race, I had an extended note there on the other, and that's why it's important, folks, when you're looking at other, make sure you look at the extended count because it's going to tell you what the other means. He might not handle the track. He didn't take the turn well. Now I worry about horses that are cheap like this. Sometimes they're just a little ouchy, but to me, it looked like he wasn't handling the track that day, so he could be forgiven. And to your point, he had against the bias 2-back.
2-back, yeah.
3-back, he looked good off a layoff, and I had projected an improve. He improved, but not as much as I thought, and that was probably because of the issues he found in the next 2 races. So I think there's more upside.
I think so too. The other thing too, I don't really like taking a 5-year-old horse, but in this field, there's really not much. So I think maybe a savvy vet can get it done. He's ran a lot, so I don't know.
He's fine, and he's had 2 seconds at this distance.
Yeah, dual grid.
Light, but like I said, there might be a little bit more upside this guy, like you said, versus some of the others because he's lightly raced.
Yeah, and the other thing too, 8 to 1. I mean, morning line.
And he plots well, right, in a race. Like
Yeah,
this.
plots very well. I thought, yeah, like I said, top pick. Yeah, plotted pretty well. 8 to 1. Why not?
I could see him start like the 8. Let's say if the 11 doesn't show up, the 8 goes out. He could be like stalking with the 2 in second and third, and could be in a good spot if the 8 comes back. So let's talk about the 8 because he's going to have such a pace advantage. And I was curious what you thought about him. 9, 8. Okay. Summary judgment.
Yeah, 8 I have. Yeah, 8 I had. He ran that big one, 2-back, 82. Other than that, it's just really nothing. Like 34, 58, like very just. I know he's a young horse, 4, I guess. So, what else do I have written down here? I obviously plots well, as we could see that, but yeah, just I don't know. He popped that 82 for B, and you have Tactic Plus, so. I mean, obviously, he's deserving to be the favorite, but I don't know. Really, other than that, I don't see much from him. That's why I sort of was leaning towards the 7 as my top pick. But don't get me wrong, this horse definitely has the pace advantage, no doubt.
No, that's a great point. So I had the Tactic Plus. I took advantage of the pace dynamics that day, which he might again, but
Exactly.
But I think you're right. And he's going to probably be pretty short. I think he'll be around the 5 to 2 range. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, 5 to 2. That's where I sort of leaned to the 7 as my top pick, sort of get creative with a price. But yeah, probably 5 to 2 around that something short like that.
So he wouldn't surprise us, but he may be a horse we want to take a shot against.
That's why. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he ran nothing last time out.
He didn't do anything in three other races.
3 other races. I mean, there's not really much I can.
He looks like he's a need the lead horse based on a little bit. I mean, it's hard to tell in only 4 races, but he may be a need the lead horse. And
totally agree.
If he doesn't get out of the gate clean or doesn't clear easily, he could be vulnerable. The 9 is a sudden impulse. I don't know. What do you think?
I didn't really have much on this horse. Just sort of was a toss for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
or did you have something maybe?
Yeah, I just think, like, again, he was another horse that's kind of been back and forth between the dirt and turf. So for me, he's a hard horse to assess, I'll be honest. So I really don't know. He definitely would be 2-tier, 3-tier horse for me.
I agree.
The races, yeah. And then the 10 we tossed, and the 11 is the other one we talked about. And like, who knows?
Yeah, this one I have written down, just long layoff. I mean, they ran and then you sit up for a whole year. What else do I have?
And then you come back in this race,
Yeah, you come back in this race. It's just a little suspect to me. I mean, I know he plots unbelievably, like big square and stuff like that, but I don't 8 to 1. So he is sort of, I guess, he is a price, but I don't know.
Just, you think he's gonna be 8 to 1?
Oh, I don't, probably not, but
I think he's going to be closer to 5 to 1, my guess.
Yeah.
Let me look at that race he comes out of. Let's just see if that race came back, how that ran, because I didn't look on how that race came back as.
Yeah, just another point I have, just one, like I said, one start and then you lay it for a year and and then you come in here and you're facing horses that have ran like a bunch of times. It's just a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take my shot against him, I think.
Nothing special in terms of like what he's come back with, you know. So like that's interesting because that's a horse. Like, what do you do with a horse like that? Is there a price where you say, I got to include him, and how do I
Mhm.
include him? It's tricky, right? I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, if he is 8-1, I mean, you know, you'd be banging your head against the wall if a horse like that, plots like that, wins
Yeah,
it.
plots like that. And no, you go back, you look at it like, damn it.
All right. So,
Yeah.
so what's
I
your,
mean,
how
he
would you
stands
rank?
out big time too. He stands out big time. So it's like I don't blame you. We using him, but I don't know. I just too many question marks for me. But
I
it
agree.
could be. It could be. I think it's a horse that I'll go against. And if the plot outsmarts me this time, the plot outsmarts me.
Yeah, yeah. I did that race, the Withers. The plot outsmarted me, but I still thought I made the right play when that Chad Brown horse. Same kind of situation, was only had the one race that had an outstanding plot.
Yeah, that was early voting, right?
Yeah, early voting. He just
Early
ran.
voting.
What I didn't like the tactics there. I mean, it didn't show much confidence. They just really went hard early and tried to just run
Mhm.
a bad field off their feet. So I didn't. I was like, I'm not too crazy on him. But so I think for you and me, I think we're like both kind of like leaning more 3-7 in this 7-3. You more maybe 7-3, 3-7 are the horses that you know.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to definitely, especially the three, like you said, you had some interesting points on him, but yeah, I was leaning towards the 7 as on top for me. 8-1, get Alicia Morrison up, maybe pop at a price. Yeah, 8-7-3, maybe something along those lines.
I like, you know, I like the 7 too, because the thing I like about the 7, he's going to be more, he's more tactical than the 3.
Agree.
So the only thing is if these horses come back a little bit, I think you know, he's going to be the one that gets the first run. So yeah, 3-7-8 will, you know, stand against the 11 and the 2. You know, you were a little bit too, right? I was,
Yeah, I just have written down consistent figs, wide trip, a couple wide trips, and then he drops in for 16. I don't know. I'm not crazy about him. Don't get me. I'm not crazy
yeah.
about him, but I still leaning towards 7, 8,
Yeah,
3.
you're much better off with the 7 and the 3. I mean, 7, especially with the price he's going to be. So
Yeah.
I think that's the right play there. So good job.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Thank you. Thanks for
listening.
having me on again. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
I appreciate it. And
Hopefully this race runs this time.
yeah, we'll get it in. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone. And join us. Go check out the website. We're actually going to upgrade the website on Monday. So let us know what you think, and we'll talk to you soon.